Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We are the Group 5. We will be tackling about the law and barriers, teachers' contractual status, and dismissal. For today's scenario, we have a teacher is accused for physical assault for allegedly hitting her student with book that caused for the latter's lip to bleed. Because of this, the parents of the victim raised their concern to the school head and request the teacher for a meeting to hear both sides and possibly settle the issue. Where the teacher was failed to attend, that left the parents of the victims with no choice but to raise it to the higher authorities for legal settlement. For our characters, we have the parent of the victim, Miss Jennifer Laguna. The victim is Claudine Sorenio. The teacher, Miss Princess Bacatio. The Dolly representative, Mr. Fendi, no, Miss Patrice Lawas. And the counsel of the accused, Mr. Fendi Lopez. The principal assistant, Miss Lovely Orcaza, and Principal Rita Fortunado. So let's start. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. May I ask Miss Rakaza, what is the agenda for today's forum?
Yes, Miss Principal. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Miss Principal. I am Lovely Rakaza and will assist you for today's forum. We are here today to address the issue of the allegedly accused Miss Bacatio versus the allegedly victim, Miss Claudine, together with her mother, Mrs. Jennifer. Here with us today as well is the counsel of the accused, Mr. Fendi Lopez, and the representative from Department of Labor and Employment, Miss Patrice Lawas.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rikaza. Now may I call the accused and state your name, age, and address, please.
I am Princess Grace Bacaccio, 30 years old, single and residing at San Isidro, Talisay City, Cebu.
Ms. Bacatio, may I ask why are you in this forum today?
To give a sworn statement regarding to the allegedly case files against me, Miss Principal.
Okay. It is stated in the affidavit submitted by the party of the complainant. The parent of the allegedly victim of yours requested for a forum to hear your side of the story and to possibly settle the issue, but you failed to attend. May I ask the reason behind your absence to that said forum, Ms. Bacatio?
I am currently dealing with some personal problem, Miss Principal.
Okay, I see. Ms. Bacatio, are you aware of the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers?
Yes, Miss Principal.
Okay. May you share to everybody in this forum what happened the day Miss Claudine went home with the bleeding lips?
That day, Miss Principal, I was stressed because of my problems at home, and I admit my temper that was high. But my patience was stretched thin with Miss Claudine, keeps on laughing so loud in her seat. I told her to tone down her voice, but instead of listening, she just rolled her eyes on me and keeps on moving to different seats. That drove me so mad and threw her at her the book that I was holding, Miss Principal.
Okay, as what you have said a while ago that you are aware of the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. Miss Bacatio, am I right?
I am not certain, Miss Principal.
Can you recall what stated in the Article 8, Section 8 of Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher, Miss Bacatio?
I am not certain, Miss Principal.
Okay, let me remind you again. Article 8, Section 8 of Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers stated that a teacher shall not inflict corporal punishment on offending learners, nor make deductions from their scholastic ratings as a punishment for acts which are clearly not manifestation of poor scholarship. Also stated in Article 9, Section 2 of the same code that every teacher shall inform parents through proper authorities of the progress and deficiencies of learner under him, exercising utmost candor and tact in pointing out the learner's deficiencies and in seeking parents' cooperation for the proper guidance and improvement of the learners. Miss Bacatio, do you think Miss Claudine deserved what you did to her?
No, Miss Principal.
Okay. Do you have Anything to say, Miss Bacatio?
None, Miss Principal.
Okay, thank you. Now may I call the victim, Miss Claudine?
Good afternoon, Miss Principal.
Good afternoon. Did you listen to Miss Bacatio's statement a while ago?
Yes, Miss Principal.
Is what she said true?
Yes, Miss Principal.
The incident where she threw a book at you was the first time that it happened?
To me, Miss Principal, yes, but I don't know with the others.
Okay. Is Miss Bacatio in star mood most of the time?
I'm not certain, Miss Principal.
Thank you, Miss Claudine. May I call the mother of the victim, Mrs. Jennifer?
Yes, Miss Principal, I'm Jennifer, the mother of Claudine.
Okay, Mrs. Jennifer, what do you want to get in this forum?
Miss Principal, I just like to give both parties to give statement and come up to a just judgment, Miss Principal.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Jennifer. Now may I call the counsel of the accused?
Good morning, Miss Principal.
State your name and title, please.
I am Wendell Lopez, the counsel of the accused.
Mr. Lopez, you may proceed to state your party prepared for this forum.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for meeting with us today. I understand that there are serious allegations against our teacher, Miss Bacatio. However, I must stress out that our school administration is committed to due process and ensuring a fair investigation. First, I would like to refer to Republic Act number 4670, also known as the Magna Carta for Public School Teachers. This act provides certain protection and rights to teachers, ensuring that they are treated fairly.
So good day, everyone,
Okay, Miss
and Miss
Patrice.
Principal. I am Patrice Orvilio Lawas, a representative from Department of Labor and Employment. Yes, while we respect the rights and protections granted to teachers under various Republic Acts, it is imperative to emphasize the rights and welfare of the student, Claudine, who is the victim in this case. However, the incident involving Ms. Bacachos physically assaulting a student is a grave concern. We need to address the violation of the student's right under the law, particularly in the light of Republic Act number 7610, which provides special protections against child abuse. It clearly defines child abuse and mandates strict penalties for those found guilty of such acts. Physical assault by a teacher resulting in injury to a student falls squarely under this act. Claudine's bleeding lips are evidence of physical harm, which cannot be justified by teachers' personal stress. Moreover, Republic Act number 9262, the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004 also highlights the importance of protecting children from any form of violence. The law is explicit that any form of physical harm is unacceptable and must be addressed with utmost seriousness.
We recognize the importance of RA 7610, which explicitly protects children from abuse, exploitation, and discrimination. However, we must also consider the context in which this incident occurred. Ms. Bacaccio has been dealing with significant personal stress, which, while not an excuse for her behavior, but does require understanding and support as per Republic Act number 4670, the Magna Carta for Public School Teachers. This law emphasizes the needs for teachers to receive fair treatment and support, especially regarding mental health and well-being.
Do you have anything to say, Miss Patrice Lawas?
While RA 4670 does provide necessary protection for teachers, it does not absolve them of accountability for their actions, especially when it comes to the welfare of our students. The act of physically assaulting a student cannot be overlooked. Ms. Bacatio not only violated Ms. Cludin's right under RA 7610, but also failed to adhere to the Professional Code of Ethics for Teachers under the Board for Professional Teachers Resolution number 435, which mandates teachers to maintain a professional and respectful relationship with students, separating personal issues from their professional responsibilities.
I agree that the incident is regrettable and serious. However, Ms. Bacatio's absence from the meeting should not be interpreted as a refusal to cooperate, but rather a reflection of her current mental state. We must consider the provisions under RA 11036, the Mental Health Act, which calls for the protection and promotion of mental health, especially in a high stress professions like teaching. Ms. Bacaccio has been under considerable stress due to personal issues, which, well, not excusing her actions, but does provide some context for her behavior. She has served the school diligently for years, and this incident appears to be an anomaly rather than a pattern of a behavior.
Mr. Lopez, while mental health is critical and support should indeed be provided, the safety and the rights of the student must remain our priority. The non-attendance of Ms. Bacatio at the meeting indicates a disregard for procedural process to address the grievances which further aggravates the situation. Under RA 6713, the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standard for Public Officials and Employees, public servants are expected to act with responsibility, integrity, and accountability. By failing to attend the meeting, Ms. Bacaccio has shown a lack of accountability.
We deeply regret the incident and extend our sympathies to Claudine and her family. We urge that we consider, or you can consider Ms. Bacatio's long-standing service and the protections afforded to her under the law. We believe that a fair and a balanced approach should be taken in resolving this matter. That's all.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Lopez. Thank you as well, Ms. Lawas. Based on the statements coming from both parties, coming from the accused herself, she admits that the incident involving the victim really happened, and her claim is supported by the victim's confirmation. We all know that teachers are also human beings. They have emotions, they get tired, they get so emotional, they have personal problems at home. But in our law, there is no harm shall befall to the learner, most especially in the hand of the teacher. Instead, according to the Code of Ethics for a Professional Teacher, Article 8, Section 9, a teacher shall ensure that conditions contribute to the maximum development of learners are adequate and shall extend needed assistance in preventing or solving learners' problems and difficulties. Since the case did not fall under any of the following grounds for termination, as stipulated in Article 2A2 Labor Code, this case will proceed to its thorough deliberation on the arguments presented. To all who are around today, thank you for your time and cooperation. Session adjourned.